All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's Breakout Watchlist from July 19th to July 23rd. If you follow me on Twitter or StockTwits, you notice that I've been pretty bearish on the market lately. It's been a really tough trading environment, and when that happens, I like to scale back, not put as large of a position size on, not have as much exposure on. And going into this week, I'm actually net short. So in this video, I'll be covering 8 stocks that have breakout potential and 8 stocks that have breakdown potential. So both the long side and the short side going into next week. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, TikTok, and all those other platforms. If you're coming here for a specific setup, timestamps will be in the comment section below to each of the stocks that we'll talk about. So just go there and get exactly what you need out of the video. Quick disclaimer, anything that I talk about is not financial advice or stock advice. This is all for educational purposes only. Trading comes with financial risk. Please do your own due diligence. All right, here's the stock lineup. We got 8 stocks on the left that are breakout setups, 8 stocks that are breakdown setups on the right. We'll be going over the setups, buy points, sell points, all that good stuff in the video. Once you're done watching the video, go to my Twitter, StockTrickNick there, and vote on your favorite setup of these 4. We have LEGN and PRTA on the long side to choose from, and BBW and TGLS from the short side. All right, let's jump into the charts. First, we have AMR. This was on the breakout watch list last week as well. You can see really strong move up, about 130% since the beginning of May. Since then, we've pulled back only 15%, so it does qualify for that high tight flag setup that I like to trade. Pulled back to the 20-day moving average. This green line tightened up there and is starting to turn up a little bit. And to see this kind of action during a very tough end of the week last week shows great signs of relative strength here. So what I would like from this setup is for it to trade down to the right a couple days just to tighten this range up a little bit more, and then taking out Friday's high 25.30 as a possible buy point. AMR. Next, we have ASAN. This one doesn't have a pure buy point right now, but it's one of the stocks that have been holding up the best of late, up 170% from the low here, middle of May. And this has been a market leader that I've been trying to look to find an entry for. Just kind of been in a lockout rally. We did have this 8-day check back right here, and then it got going again. Now we're pulling back to the 20-day simple moving average. We do have this volume shelf of support right through here. So not a perfect buy point just yet, but a stock that could trade sideways and then in the second half of the week might set up a better buy point. For now, I'll just be looking at Friday's high, 67.48 as a possible buy point, but more than likely going to have a better chance in the second half of the week on this one. Now we have BCRX. And these are all from the long side so far. We have 8 of these, and then we'll go to the short side with 8 more. BCRX, this is one that I tried to trade earlier, got stopped out, moved up 94%, really strong action through there. Since then, a pullback of only 14%. So again, a high type flag, good action through here. Pulling back, we got the 50-day moving average catching up. Now, this could be a short as well if it just falls through. So we have some support right through here along the 50-day moving average, and then a volume gap on the downside. Let's measure that. 21% down. So if this just falls under the 50-day moving average, you could short this as well. But it has been holding up relatively well against the market. With this, I'll be looking for a break over Tuesday's high of 1610 as a possible buy point, and then get that stop below some of the previous day's lows. That would get you a 5% stop, which is reasonable. BCRX. Next, we have LEGN, and this is one that you guys can vote on the Twitter account. So we had this nice pop through here. Let's measure that, 64%. So not going to qualify for the high type flag setup, but good move up on volume. This flagged out nicely. Had this one pullback day where we undercut the lows in the pullback right here. So that shook out all the traders that got in on this kind of pullback and bounce. You like to see that because when people are shaken out of a trade and then it starts moving up, if they're going to get back in, they have to bid it up even higher. So good to see shakeouts before you buy an entry point. I'll be looking for a break over 40.94, the high from July 12th as a possible buy point. On Friday, this showed great relative strength, up 3.3% when in a very tricky market, and sitting above the main part of this volume shelf. So little resistance up top. If we can get over that July 12th 40.94, that is going to be my buy point. LEGN, and one that you guys can vote on. Next we have MGI, MoneyGram. I think this was on my watch list last week. I have to check. You have this huge cup and what looked like a handle getting going, but then, I mean, this has been a very tricky trading environment, so this kind of just chopped sideways for now. This is another one where I would like to see this kind of trade sideways down a little bit in the first half of the week and then give us a better entry point in the second half. But 1078, the high from Friday, would be a possible buy point for now if we just reverse off this 20-day simple moving average and then get going over the resistance here. So if we can get a couple days trading sideways, that would be better, and then get the breakout. But this is holding up pretty good in a tough trading environment. MGI. Next we have MTCH. Zooming out here, you have this kind of flag for, let's see, when did this? About a 4-month kind of base here. Allowed the 200-day simple moving average to catch up, bounced off that, and now we're just kind of consolidating after I think it was a 16% move. Not going to be a very quick stock, but right now we got to find the strength first, not find just the quickest moving stocks. I do like Thursday and Friday how we have these lower wicks. So we undercut the 20-day moving average, and then people got in and bid that back up. Same thing on Friday. Same thing on, what day is this? July 8th as well. So pulled back to the 20, got bid up. Pulled back, got bid up. So someone's buying the 20-day simple moving average. Hopefully they have more powder in case we pull back again. For this, I'm going to wait for it to turn up and look for a break over Wednesday's high of 166.79, MTCH. Next we have NTCO. This is a thinner name, so you have to watch your position sizing on this. We had a very quick flush after it IPO'd, kind of built the base, got back up, and now we're at kind of all-time highs right through here. So with this moving off the 20-day moving average after a couple of shakeouts, it's consolidating. We got good volume on the way out, little volume on the way back. So I'll just be looking for a break over Friday's high of 23.73 as a possible buy point for NTCO. PRTA is the last long setup that we got going. This is one that had been on a previous watch list, was a high type flag that got out through here, jumped 33% from that buy point. But this is concerning. This shows that just the trading environment that we've been in has been take your profits quick, because people are selling into strength, and when that happens, you get these reversal bars and these large red sell-off days. But even with that, it's holding the 20-day moving average right now. This is one that if we get under the low through here, this is a possible short as it comes back down 40% to the previous breakout area. But right now, it's just kind of consolidating, wedging down, and not losing that 20-day moving average. So I'll probably be a little bit more cautious with this, but just a classic pullback buy with a break over Friday's high, 53.38 would be a possible buy point. All right, those are the 8 stocks that I have from the long side that I'm watching. Now we're getting into the 8 stocks that I'll be looking to short going into the week. First, we have Build-A-Bear. This is one that just skyrocketed up 150%, pulled back to the 20-day moving average. Then let's measure this. Moved out 27%, similar to PRTA. It got spiked down. And since then, we've been struggling to get back over that 20-day moving average. So like NTCO, where people were buying at the 20-day moving, or not NTCO, MTCH, when people were buying at the 20-day moving average, people are selling as it bounces back up and tries to get over that. People are selling that move here. So with this now, we closed right at the low of the previous pullback. We have the 50-day moving average, and we're under this volume shelf of resistance up top. So with this, I'm just going to be shorting this if we break under Friday's low, which would be 15.18, and with a stop at Friday's high, 16.25. So it's a little bit looser of a stop, 6.4%. So I'm not going to put as much position size on that, but this looks like one that it can just roll over, and it has very little volume below until the previous breakout point, 42% down. So could be one that just rolls over with the tough market. CNSL is next. All right, so we had a nice move up and then malfunction day through here, drifted higher. Now we're under the 50-day, we're under the 20-day. We did bounce here, which sets up a bounce back to the moving averages, and then you short the roll. So with this, I'll be shorting with a break under the low from Friday, 855, and then just put your stop loss or stop buy to exit the position over some of these previous days highs. So very little risk on this trade. Yeah, about 3% risk on that. But again, you have that volume gap down to support at the previous breakout, and that would be a 19% move down. Next, we have DDS. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Those likes or comments, it helps the YouTube algorithm push this to other traders. So if you guys are finding this valuable, help me out and get the word out. Next, we have DDS. This is one that I had traded from the long side during this flag, broke out, sold some probably too quickly into here, and then we had a pullback, another bounce. Now this is starting to round off a top here, and after, let's measure this. After a 97% move up, we're rolling over under the 20-day moving average, under the volume shelf right here. There is a little bit more support on the way down, but looking at that 50-day moving average and the previous pullback low, that's down 11%. That would be where I would look to cover right there. So this is one where if we can get a small bounce Monday and Tuesday and then short under Friday's low of 172.51, DDS. Next we have FATE. This is one that looked like it was starting to form the right side of the base here and then just got rejected. Pushed lower, we're under the volume shelf, we're under the 50, 20, 8, and now the 200-day simple moving average. So we're below all of the moving averages. We have selling pressure on the stock. We had a very low volume bounce back to the 200-day moving average on Friday. So with this, I'm looking to let it bounce and then short as we're breaking under the previous day's low. So 76.04, the low from Friday, would be my short, and then put my stop above the 50-day moving average. That would be about 6%. FATE. Next we have FOUR, and this one I had tried from the long side a couple times and got stopped out as it was approaching $100. This was like right through here was my buy point. And then we had that one day where it got going, reversed lower. We bounced at the 50, and now you can see it's been bouncing between the 50 and the 20-day moving average. 20 days now trending down. We had this ugly bar on Friday where we gapped up at the open, and we just sold that move all the way back down. So heavy selling pressure on this. We're below the volume shelf, below the 8-day exponential, 20-day simple, 50-day simple. And we have a nice kind of ledge to short down here. So a break under the low from Thursday, 90.80 would be my short, where I would start the short. And then you have the 200-day simple moving average, 14% lower, which would be a nice place to cover. FOUR. Next we have OLO. This is one that I was watching from the long side. A lot of these I had watched from the long side or looked to trade, had a 98% move up. We pull back, heavy selling volume. You see a lot of these long upper wicks. So any moves up, hit the sellers, hit that, pushed it lower. Now we got a little very low volume bounce back up to the 20-day moving average. And this is one where we let it bounce back up, and now we're gonna short the roll. So if we break under Friday's low, that would be under the 50-day moving average, 33.68. right there. And then you could put your stop at the high from Friday. That would be 5% risk. OLO. Now, just because I'm covering all these doesn't mean I'm going to be taking all of these trades. Probably it's best to be in cash or just taking very small position sizes, as the market's been extremely choppy, very tough trading lately. So definitely not a time to swing for home runs, just trying to get some singles and doubles out, make the week profitable. Next we have SUP. This is one that I definitely tried to take from the long side. Did take a long-sided trade. Got stopped basically at even maybe a 2% loss. But we had this 100% move up. We flagged out. I bought this turn. It got out, reversed, sold off. And in this kind of action where you break out, the stock squats, and then we push lower, now I'm letting it kind of go through a pullback, bounce up, and then short the roll. So with this, we're right on the 50-day simple moving average right now. Ideally, we do get that low volume bounce back up to like the 20 right here, and that would be the main part of the volume shelf, resistance up top. You have a lot of traders stuck here that don't use stop losses. So when we reverse lower, this will be a second half of the week trade for me, unless we just take out Friday's low, 785, and then pull down to the previous breakout area. That would be a 14% move, and that's what I would look to cover in SUP. And last but not least, TGLS. This is one that I was watching again from the long side, and now it's looking like it's rolling over. Let's zoom out. Had a nice uptrend. Let's do this measure. So this last move was 115% up, and we see this sell bar. We let traders push it higher, sell bar. Heavy volume on both of those sell bars. And then now we're just drifting lower, hit that 50-day moving average, bounce back to the 20, and now looks like it's rolling over. We're under the resistance above. We're under the 50-day, the 20, and the 8. So with this, I'll just be looking for a break under 1833. That's the low from 7/8, July 8th, as a possible short. And then really there's very little resistance down to the previous breakout point, which is 33% down. So with the stop at the high of the day, 5% to 33%, good risk reward. But with shorting, you have to be a lot quicker to take profit because chances are the stock's not going to go down to zero. You're just trying to squeeze out some profit there. All right, that's going to be the breakout and breakdown watch list of the upcoming week, July 19th to July 23rd. Make sure you go vote on your favorite setup on my Twitter, StockTrickNick there, and go ahead and click on the link in the description, the Webull link. Make sure you get your 2 free stocks, 1 free stock when you just sign up between $3 and $300, and then when you deposit $5, you get another stock between $8 and $2,000. So both of those stocks could be valued up to $2,300. I use Webull for my longer term positions. I like their charting platform, and it's always good to have a couple different brokerages. I have Webull, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade. In case one's down, it's always good to have backup options. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for another watch list.